thank you for tuning into my video. My name is Julie, and this is my no-buy year. So this is actually my fourth time trying to record this video because each time I haven't been able to get my camera completely in focus. It's a little bit blurry. So I apologize in advance for the poor quality of the video. Hopefully I'll be able to improve that, as well as just make this whole thing easier for me in terms of filming in the future. With that said, I'll go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, and as you can see by the title of the video, this is my no-buy year for 2020. And it should go without saying, but I still think it needs to be said, that I was heavily inspired by Hannah Louise Poston here on YouTube, who did a no-buy year in 2018, followed by a beauty budget year this past year in 2019. I've had fleeting thoughts of doing a no-buy previously in the past, and I never really committed to it or put much thought into it. But a lot of what Hannah had to say in her videos just really, really resonated with me, to the point where between that and just reflecting inwardly, it really brought me to the point where I'm super excited and motivated to undertake this challenge over the next year. I do think a lot of my motivations are similar to hers and similar to other people here on YouTube or on Reddit or on other social media channels who are undertaking no-buys. But I will go ahead and articulate why for me specifically I'm doing this, and then also talk about my particular rules that I've outlined for myself. So the first motivating factor is that I just have such a large collection. I think what perhaps sets me apart from some other people that I've seen undertake these no-buys is that I have a much larger collection. I'll talk about it in my rules later. I am going to let myself buy products if I've used up everything in that particular category, such as if I've used up all of my brow products or all of my mascaras, I can buy a new one, because it's not about punishment, it's just about being more mindful and thoughtful about my habits and behaviors. But I don't foresee myself needing to buy any of those things because I have so many. So I have more makeup and more skincare than I could ever use. I've got tons of backups of body care and hair care and candles. And so I just want to use up a lot of what I have. I also live abroad and move country to country for work fairly frequently. And so it'd be nice to just have less stuff to move whenever my next move will take place. And that is not to say that I have ambitions to be a minimalist. Quite the opposite. I like stuff. I don't have ambitions towards minimalism. It's more being a more thoughtful consumer is what I would like to get to, and being a more, I guess, responsible adult and less impulsive. So in addition to having a huge collection, what I've noticed is over the past, I would say 2 or 3 years in particular, I've noticed my habits when shopping have just gotten more and more about the actual purchase rather than the product that I get. So I've always loved makeup. I've always loved beauty ever since I was very small, and I've certainly been shopping at Sephora since the early 2000s when you'd get, or even late 90s, when you'd get like a catalog in the mail, and you could even call them up to order it because online shopping wasn't a thing and they only had stores in big cities like New York. But over the past few years, I find myself spending just an inordinate amount of time on planning my purchases, researching new products, looking at different things, making lists of what I want to buy, what I'm going to buy in which sale, and I just spend so much time and mental energy on that I just think is completely excessive. And I'm always chasing that, like, buyer's high. Right, I'm looking for the endorphin rush of when I buy a new product and I'm excited, and then I get it, and then I quickly become bored, and then I go back to the lows of not having a new product that's incoming. So it's this real roller coaster of emotions, and I don't want to be on that roller coaster anymore. I want to step off of it, and I want to buy things because I truly love them, because I truly need them, because I'm going to get a lot of use out of them, not just for the sake of buying them, not for keeping up with the Joneses, but also just not having that, wanting that sort of feeling, that elation that you get from buying a new item. So linked to that very closely is the financial motivation of undertaking this no-buy. I spend just a ridiculous amount of my income on these products that are not necessities, rather than putting more in my savings, paying off whatever debts I have, using them on experiences, or treating my loved ones. And I just feel like at my age and position, I should be more mindful and responsible and less impulsive about those things. And I notice myself that I get into the cycle of where I feel guilty and stressed out about the amount of money that I've spent on these sorts of items. And then to assuage that guilt and stress, I buy more. So it's this definite vicious cycle that I just really want to get out of. And so over this year, I really hope to reset my habits and my behaviors and just learn that I'll be okay if I don't buy this product. Like, it is not life-changing. None of this is life-changing. Sure, things are nice, and I like beautiful things, and I appreciate makeup and the artistry of it, but that's what I want to focus on more, right? Like the using of my products, trying out different looks and techniques, being a better applicator of makeup on my own face, since I'm obviously not a makeup artist on other people. So I really want for it to be about that and not just about the like adrenaline rush of shopping. So within that, I have set myself some very strict parameters for this no-buy, and that's, again, like a big difference from what I've ever done before. I've never really set out exactly what the rules are going to be. And like with Hannah Louise Poston, I feel like I'm quite inwardly competitive and rule following, and so if I set these rules for myself, it's setting myself up for greater success. So I don't feel like anything is unclear or wishy-washy, or that I haven't really made a clear program for what I'm going to be doing over this next year. So with that said, the rules of my 2020 no-buy are as follows. I've got it on my phone, so I'm going to read from there, which is why I'm looking down. So this starts on the 1st of January at midnight and ends the 31st of December at 11:59 p.m. So the second rule of my no-buy is that I cannot buy any makeup, skincare, hair care, body care, candles, or other non-essential homewares for all of 2020. I decided to not include clothing, accessories, shoes in my no-buy because I don't feel like I really overindulge in those categories. But if I see that I'm transferring my spending on makeup and skincare and those items onto clothing, then I am going to add clothing to the list. So there might be a change there where something else gets added to the no-buy, but nothing's going to be removed from the no-buy. And with the clothes and accessories that I do purchase, I want to be very mindful of what I'm buying, that it's going to be something I'll get a lot of use out of, that it fits me very well, that it's good quality, that it's not just sort of like the H&M fast fashion type of thing, because I just don't feel the need to support that or really have those things in my wardrobe. I can buy replacements of products only once I've used up everything in that category. Now this is a rule that I've seen a lot of different people who are doing no-buys have, and the thing for me is I don't actually think this is ever going to come into play, in the sense that I have so many products in all categories. I don't think that I will ever get to a point where I need to go out and buy something else. I don't think I'll ever go through my mascaras or my foundations or any of that within this year. The three exceptions to that I do potentially foresee are that currently I'm using the Tata Harper Resurfacing Serum, which is an exfoliating serum. When I'm done with that, I'm about halfway through, I'll go back to my Sunday Riley Good Jeans, of which I already have a large size backup. And if I go through that, I'll just rebuy the Good Jeans because it's my holy grail. I love it. I don't know why I strayed and tried anything different, but I already have a backup. And I don't think within 12 months I'm going to go through the rest of the Tata Harper and the large size of the Good Jeans. If I do, I can rebuy something though. I also see that I would rebuy the NYX Rev de Miel lip balm. And that is my nighttime lip balm of choice. It's really thick, quite occlusive, and actually stays on my lips throughout the entire night. And when I don't use it, I notice my lips get really chapped and red and cracked and all of that quite easily. So I do have a lot of other lip balms that I'm trying to use. I have a sugar one, I have miscellaneous brands, I have like Burt's Bees, I have La Mer, I have all sorts of different ones. I still want to use those up, but if and when I run out of the NYX, I can rebuy a new NYX for my nighttime wear and just use up the others sort of like throughout the day when I feel like I want like a little lip balm. And then the third item that I could foresee that I would repurchase without using up everything in the entire category are certain body creams or lotions, specifically for my legs. My legs have really dry skin, especially in the winter when I have all the forced heat. And also I have restless leg syndrome. So using a body cream that's like super moisturizing and also has like relaxing properties, whether it's, you know, infused with CBD, I don't know if I even believe that works, something like that, or just like other tranquil, skin relaxing, calming properties, does help me get more restful sleep. So if I use up those products that I have, I can rebuy before using up all of my body lotions. But I can't just go out and buy miscellaneous body lotions because I want them. It has to be that they're specifically these ones that I need for my legs and things like that, that are sort of like quote unquote necessary. So I decided that I can use gift cards as cash with no restrictions. So I do have Sephora credit and also Ulta credit that I can use at those stores, like without limitations. Part of that is because they both have to be used up all in one go, and I just don't think I would have enough to buy of replacements in one go to warrant that. But also part of it is because I have developed such a habit of shopping in my adult life for so many years that I think this is a good outlet to let me still stick to my rules while still indulging a little bit into my old behaviors as I sort of wean myself off of it. So although I don't love leaving myself that slight crutch to rely on, I also think it's good to set yourself up for success and not for failure. So knowing myself well, I think having those outlets will be a very positive thing that I'll look forward to and be able to use when there's something that I deem I really want. And I could also, of course, end up using it for just repurchases or replacement items that, of course, would be permitted, but I don't have to if I decide that I want something else. And then I'm allowing myself two sort of key exceptions. So the first is that if and when the Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette comes back in stock anywhere, I'm allowing myself to buy it. It was originally sold in very limited quantities on her website and also on Selfridges, and I wasn't able to get my hands on it, and it's of course not been restocked since then, so I haven't been able to buy it. If it comes back in, which is a big if, I'm allowing myself to buy it. And then the other one, similarly, is the Sonia G Sky Face brush set, which is available exclusively on Beautylish. It's been sold out. I haven't been able to get it. And if it comes back in, that's an investment that I deem I would use a lot and is worth it. So I would allow myself to go ahead and buy that. But other than that, unless it's within the rules of my no buy, which I've already mentioned, I'm not allowed to buy it, and I'm not going to buy it. So money that I saved throughout this project, I'm going to use to pay off my debts, to put into savings, put towards retirement and other things like that, not just transfer my spending in one category towards another. So that's just something that I want to keep at the front of my mind throughout this entire thing, because it's about changing my behavior, not just transferring it from one area of spending onto another. And lastly, just to cover rules of experiences, aka treatments, manicures, pedicures, facials, massages, whatever, I'm allowing myself to still partake in those. To me, I don't overindulge in those things, but also, for me, it's a nice treat to have a professional, get out my cuticles or pumice my feet or what have you. So I'm going to allow myself to still do those with an aim of not doing more than 18 in a year, which would be a manicure monthly along with a bi-monthly pedicure. If I broke it down like that, of course I can go for facial instead or whatever. But if I go a bit over that number, I'm not going to sweat it. If I go under, great. But I'm just going to try to stay in that general ballpark. So those are the rules, the parameters for my year-long no-buy for 2020. And so if you have noticed, this is the very first video that I have put up on my channel. So it's a bit odd to start a channel right as you're starting a no-buy, especially for somebody like me who's watched pretty regularly, sometimes obsessively, tons of different YouTube beauty videos over the years. And I've always thought it'd be great to do a channel, and part of my justification for buying all of these products was always that I could do swatch videos, I could do dupes, I could do reviews, favorites, all of these in video form, and I just never did it. So now that I'm doing this no-buy, I thought, okay, I can put my money where my mouth is and actually do that. I can talk about products that I love, that I do think are worth the purchase, products that are dupes of one another. I can show different swatches of different products in case people out there are just randomly searching and Googling and want to know what the Cover FX Form Honey blush duo looks like on an NW1520 skin tone, things like that. But primarily I want this channel to be a way for me to hold myself accountable and to also track my progress throughout the year, to have it as a way to look back upon the 12 months and the changes in my behavior and mentality and how it all went and what the process was like for me, sort of like as an online diary of changing my consumerism habits. And then I also would love to do videos like Empty's videos, What I'm Not Gonna Buy videos, all about Kimberly Clark, who I really love, and I'm glad that she's made a bit of a return to YouTube. So I want to talk about products that I'm not going to buy, not only because I'm on my no buy year, but also because there are other valid reasons that I just don't need it. Because it's a dupe of stuff I already have, because I'm not actually going to wear it because it doesn't suit me, because it's not fitting in my lifestyle, whatever, what have you. So I also want to talk about those types of videos. And lastly, I would love if anybody else is doing a no buy year currently, has done one in the past, is thinking about it, is doing a low buy, is just trying to be more mindful of their shopping and spending behaviors, to let me know, because I would love to have other people to chat with about these things, the struggles, I don't know, the process, the emotions, whatever. I would love to be able to speak with people who are also going through the same thing. So please let me know if that's you or somebody else that you watch that you really like. I would love to hear about it. So with that said, thank you for watching this first video. Again, sorry for the quality, and sorry also, I'm assuming the audio has picked up on a lot of fireworks. It is New Year's Eve here in the Netherlands, and people love fireworks, and so all day long, and they've been going off, and the later it gets, the more there are. So with that said, thanks again for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, test number 2 to see if the microphone is working and to see if I have managed to actually be in focus. We'll see.